Welcome to Basic Ear Wires. We are going to be making basic ear wires with 21 gauge half hard. I'm just going to make an ear wire just to show you how easy it is. This is called a French hook. They're also called shepherd's hooks because they look like a shepherd's hook with the crook and then the little piece that comes down. I think that this is a really good time to start making all of your own ear wires, especially because you can do it in sterling silver, gold fill, and rose gold fill. And so we're going to use a 21 gauge half hard. Now we're going to use half hard so that there's a little bit of a spring or a boing to it. So it's naturally going to have that stiffness. So the end of my wire has been flush cut. I'm going to make my first loop. If you want to use your round nose pliers, you can. If you have the Lindstroms, it is a little bit on the tip side of center. If you're going to use a wrap and tap, I just use jaw number 1. Now, at this point, please stop rolling as soon as the wires touch. We're good. So jaw number 5, and then bring that around. If you're doing it for somebody with tiny earlobes, you can make it smaller by using a bezel. So once it comes around, it is kind of cool to continue and put the intention of the curve into the wire by going beyond. Now you can see that the curve actually looks like a circle, making it into a circle. And then you can bring it back down to here. So now to end this ear wire, we're going to cut the wire. Now this is the part, this is up to you. If you have something heavy on the front side of your ear wires, you may want to make this earring longer, ballast to the weight that you may be putting here. Now, so I'm going to do it on jaw number 1, and you can always do it on your round nose plier. Put it on your plier. You're traveling and you don't want to bring all your tools and you only have your standards. Okay, I'm going to put a black mark across. So here's the same size loop, just showing you that you can do it on a different plier. Then I'm going to take jaw number 5 and I'm going to squeeze it. So I have the little loop with this wire about to come around jaw number 5. So instead of facing it this way, this is loop up, curling this way. Then I'd have to bring the wire down towards my body and around, which is not as ergonomically strong as bringing the wire up and away from your body. So coming around in a clockwise. Let me also do a quick drawing. So whenever you make ear wires, you're never going to make Mickey Mouse ears. These are like Mickey Mouse ears. Your ear wires will always be figure 8s or the letter S. So we're going to be making that, which means if my loop, this is sorry, I'm going to have to just cut this wire. If this wire is the equator, here's the south. So we're going to wrap this towards the north. This is an equator, and this is on the south side of the equator. Then the next loop will be on the north side of the equator. So here it comes. Going beyond and look at the wire. It has a snapback in it. So even though I pulled it, look, it wants to already pop back. So you're not going to have to do a little more than just a tiny adjustment. Because it's half hard, it wants to snap back. And put it on. So if you want to cut it at the same length. Now,
this is a European cup burr. And basically what it does is it's slotted. So you take it like a cup, and then you take a knife and you cut through the cup like that. What you're left with is a notch here in the north and the south pole. And what that does is it trims off hard edges. So it's like a blade, but it's an inward facing blade versus an outward.
This is the slot burr.
Yes, but it's still called a cup burr. We opted for this because the longevity is better than the one you were describing, which we used to have before.
We did.
And we had to clean it.
Yep, because all the junk would be inside the cup every time you used
Right.
it.
And you'd have to clean it with something.
It's hard because that's a really
Yeah.
tiny little cup.
So this one shoots the silver out the sides, or the gold, or the rose gold.
So it's not, what do you call it? It's not very high tech. It's just a piece of wood. And when you squeeze it, there's a slot here that you put this wedge in, and you get the wedge stuck in there. And now you don't have to squeeze the ear wire. So there's no tension on your fingers.
None. Yep, you got it, guys.
So you can either make the wire go in circles or you can make the tool go in circles. I think it just depends on how good you are with either hand. If there's one area that you're going to focus on hitting, it would be the curve right here, because that's the part where you want it to be, I guess you could call it flickable. So when you do this, it doesn't just fly open. Now you could also put this in your tumbler, which is normally what I do. And I leave it there for like 3-4 hours because the stainless steel shot will roll and hit it and tumble it for a couple hours. All right, now we have our ear wires and we want to make them look a little bit fancier. So I just use the width of my flat nose plier. So I'm going to pick right here, and you can put a black mark there or you can just eyeball it. So then you have your ear wires. You should clean them. So if you have a tumbler, what will happen is it'll get nice and burnished on the ends, on all the surfaces. And then this is Jason's other favorite.
So I like using the white one first because it's a little bit more aggressive in the cleaning, because it's foam and it's embedded with the cleaning agents. And then after that, I take the yellow cloth like Jamie does and cleans it off. It just sometimes you need a little bit more.
I'm just going to do something real quick. And let's say you would like to put a bead on, because everybody likes to put a bead on. So you're going to take your chain nose pliers and put it inside the loop and then crank it forward. I like to harden it before I put the bead on because it's kind of hard once there is a bead on there. Close that loop all the way. Take your tiny silver bead, gemstone, or whatever you want to put on there. So now you have that. And we're always going to be working in a figure 8, right? So you want to look at the way the wire is meeting up here. It's either going to be going right to left or left to right. Just depends on however you're holding it. But just note where the cut end is, because that means that this is going to rotate this way, so forward. So the wire is going to come backwards and then forward. So I'll put it on the number, I do like the number 5. So the loop is coming down on the equator. So this is going to come up and around. And you saw how I rotated the whole plier? You can also do that. Then bring it down, cut it. And I do have a little word of warning in just a second. Give me 1 second. We will deburr it and turn it. Now, here's the word of warning. When you put a bead onto your ear wire, do not use a big whole bead. It will slide over and off. So gemstones are good, pearls, tiny silver, but this is the best design to me because when you're making an earring and you have colors, you're making a purple earring and you want to put an aqua turquoise accent, you can pop it right there, and it doesn't have to be in the earring. It doesn't have to be below the loop. So you know how that can make your earring longer? Well, this is a way you can add color without making it longer. So if you're like, oh, I like it here, but I want it bigger, you can push it down even more and keep wrapping it. If you want to make it even larger, which we have, you can do it on a ring mandrel because the ring mandrel makes it like hoopy. So it'd still be a shepherd's hook or a French style hook. It would just be a large loop. Just know though, as you make it larger, you will have to go to a slightly thicker. That was our beginner welcome to ear wires. If you wouldn't mind going ahead, practicing and making a couple sets of plain ones before we move on, I think you'll find it a lot easier just to pick up your tool and whip out a very basic one that we can then add things to it or different functions to it.